How's the weather in Hanoi? Terrible.
I was literally just about to go out and film when this happened. I want to show you something. What's the weather tomorrow?
This will be quick because I don't want to kvetch on the weather. It is a fantastically cliche topic for humans. It's the subject of most of our small talk. But if you are thinking of moving here, then you really should know what you're getting yourself into. Here's a lowdown. In the winter, it is cold, overcast, and dreary. The pollution is very bad, and I'm told that a lot of it comes down from China, from the coal-fired heating in China, and it just chokes the city. You cannot see across the lake. In the summer, it's hot and wet, and it oscillates between hot and wet, and sometimes it's both at the same time, and you cannot get any relief besides the air conditioner. There was about a month of overlap between the two seasons where it was just perfect, and I expect that there will be a month of overlap in the fall, but I think that's about it. So why is the weather bad? Why is the weather unpredictable? Well, Hanoi sits at the head of the Red River Delta, where the Red River flows into the ocean. And it sits right in between two mountain ranges, and all of the weather flows between that triangle. And it makes an already difficult task of meteorology all that much more impossible. It makes the weather tempestuous, which is actually probably the first time that I've ever used that word in a literal context. When I've asked my Vietnamese friends, is it going to get hotter? They nod their heads. When I ask my Vietnamese friends, is it going to get wetter? They nod their heads. Now, of course, it's a matter of taste. Of course, it's relative to the conditions that you come from, right? If you're from Seattle, Hanoi might be paradise to you. If you're from Florida, where I grew up, Hanoi might be the exact same. If you're from New York City, where I moved from, then Hanoi might be a pretty big shock. And the problem, what separates Hanoi from Saigon, and the reason why Hanoi is actually hotter sometimes than Saigon, is the humidity. It makes the winters colder and it makes the summers hotter. And that humidity is because all of that moisture is trapped in that delta, in the literal Red River Delta. I'm personally not going to make excuses for the city if you're a traveler, if you're somebody who's looking to relocate, because you really should know what you're getting yourself into. The weather has such a severe impact on mood and sense of well-being that it's really important to know the weather of where you're looking to go. And if you are going to come and work as a teacher, or maybe for an NGO, something that has a commute, then there's a really good chance that you're going to be driving through the rain a lot. You're going to be driving through flooded streets quite a bit. And you should know that before you move. The weather so far this year has been extremely poor. And I have no reason to expect that that's going to change. And I also have no reason to expect that that is anathemic to how Hanoi usually is. Apparently, August and September are the wettest months, so the worst may be ahead of us. Hanoi not uncommonly floods, and sometimes it floods catastrophically. In the last few years, there have been a number of floods where the floodwaters in certain parts of the city have been up to chest height. That being said, all of that being said, I do have to say that on the rare sunny days, Hanoi is beautiful. It is a gorgeous city. There's a reason why it's called the Paris of Vietnam, or the Paris of Southeast Asia. It has a certain, well, French colonial style in a very, very literal sense, but it really does have a magic to it. The Westlake District, Teho, where I live, is absolutely breathtaking. Hun Kiem, the old quarter, has this old mystique to it in the heat and the sun that really does make me. There are days when the sun comes out and I'm riding my motorbike and I remember why I fell in love with the city in the first place. But I do have to say that most of the time it's been wet, it's been rainy, it's been difficult to do what I'm trying to do. So I would say on those sunny days, if you end up here, do what I do and rush out with your camera and film as much as possible, shoot as much as possible, and just soak it up. Do you have questions about weather in Vietnam? Do you have questions about living in Vietnam? I just so happen to be here right now, so leave your questions in the comments so I can answer them. If you would like to continue following my travels in Vietnam and across Southeast Asia, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The links will be below in the description. And also consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss a video, because life is too short not to check out what's going on the other side of the world. All right, thanks for watching.